take a look at our next fight on the docket. Again, this will be a boxing match, 160-pound weight class between James Meade, fighting out of the red corner out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and then Austin Wherry out of Belfry, Kentucky, fighting out of the blue corner in this contest. So this will be the debut for both of these two as well, and we've seen 3 different weight divisions now. Again, we saw the 135-pound division, we saw the heavyweight division. Now we get to the 160-pound division, and talk about the difference between this division compared to the other two that we've seen thus far tonight, fellas.
Well, I mean, at 160 pounds, you know, there's obviously going to be more heavier hands coming in here. So this is going to be a fight where you might really expect a lot of knockdowns, if not just the one-punch knockout. And then at 160 pounds, too, you're still in that weight where you're fast and you're quick. It really is an even ground type of weight to be in. You know, you hit like a heavyweight, but you move like a flyweight.
You got So, Austin, what's been your favorite fight so far of the night?
Oh man, it's really hard to pick because every fight that we've watched so far has been super entertaining. And I mean, so it's hard to really pick, but I mean, if I had to go with one,
probably this one, to be honest. This one was very, very dominant, and it was very fun to watch. The knockdown one was very good to watch too.
Well, you know, I'm a grappler. I love Tyrone Kenshin's performance. That was beautiful, old school jiu-jitsu.
Now we have our first fighter entering the ring here for our 5th fight, and this will be Austin Wherry out of the blue corner. And again, as we said, Wherry out of Belfry, Kentucky, 5'10", 156 pounds. Nickname is the Collector. I don't want to know what he's collecting at that point.
Looks like he's collecting Mike Tyson's old shorts here, guys.
I like those. Those are nice.
I'll tell you one thing about this kid. He was one of the first fighters here today. That shows some dedication in itself.
I was going to say his first professional fight, I'd imagine. Very, very excited to get things underway here tonight and getting his first opportunity, as now we'll have James Meade coming in to the ring as well, as he will be fighting out of the red corner here this evening. And again, Meade also in his first professional fight, as both these two trying to get off on the right foot, first time in their professional career. As I was mentioning earlier, Austin, maybe you can help us out on this as well, again, as he's going through and marking out a few things here. But talk about out of the training corner, again, you see some of those things here on our camera that are being applied to the boxers, rubbed on their face, even on their bodies. Talk about some of those things and what it is to try and help protect the boxer.
Well, you know, it's very important, and it's a thing that's really overlooked a lot of times because sometimes, you know, you don't really worry about it, but what they're doing, they're applying Vaseline to the thin spots of the skin here. I mean, you catch somebody over top of the eyebrow, side of the eye, I mean, it'll be a bad day for him. Not only with a cut, I mean, that affects the way you see when blood's running into the eye. So what they're trying to do is they're just trying to keep them little soft spots nice and slick. That way it's not a one-punch bloodbath.
Yeah, we got to stop the cuts because, you know, you get cut in these fights, a lot of times you can't see, and they might have to stop the fight. So that's what the Vaseline's for.
Well, I like the Cobra Kai flag that they have out of his corner right now.
Unless you're Nate Diaz, then Vaseline don't do too much for you.
No.
Well, we're set to go here between James Meade and Austin Wherry. Again, 160-pound weight division, our 3rd boxing clash of the evening and our 5th fight as we're underway.
You see immediately Austin switching in between southpaw and then orthodox here. I don't know if that's part of the game plan he's wanting to go with, but as he's circling around the ring, you see him kind of like switch emotions. And a lot of times with young fighters, they'll get in a bad habit of doing that. And if you really don't know how to use both sides of the striking, it will get you in trouble.
Trying to move in here on Wherry, and that lands a good right hand there.
Austin's got to stay compact here. When he's throwing that jab, he's throwing his head back. It's just going to take one good left hook here to put him on the ground. He's got to stay compact.
He's got to get his feet under him, too. Like, it looks like he's trying to feel it out, but, man, he's got to get his feet under him, start throwing some shots. Keep this guy out of his face. Because Meade's just pressing forward, getting in his face, and he's going to start landing shots.
And that's what Meade wants to do. He's wanting to put the pressure on him, walk him down, and then when you're the one getting walked down, it's not a good feeling.
Wherry was able to land a good right hand to get himself out of trouble momentarily, but again, keeps getting himself backed into the corner right now.
Now, as far as controlling the ring, sometimes you can be moving backwards and doing well, but you have to counter. You have to be throwing. You have to keep something. You have to keep him thinking.
If you're not throwing, then you're defeating the purpose.
They're talking to each other right now, so maybe some gamesmanship going on.
Wherry does have good footwork, though.
He's able to sneak in a left hand. Meade moves back in again. Wherry retreats, and there's a big right hand from Meade as Wherry gets out of trouble momentarily, bounces away.
Wherry has got to stop throwing them wild right hands. He's going to get clocked.
Wherry tries to sneak in.
He's hanging that jab out too much. He's hanging his shots out too much and not
All
bringing them.
Meade has to do is just throw a quick little snap jab as soon as he comes with that wild haymaker, and you got a busted nose. Then you can't breathe.
Under 10 seconds left in the first round, and that will do it for round number 1 between Meade and Wherry. And if you're in Meade's corner right now, again, it's maybe a little tough to fight against someone like Wherry that is bringing a lot of different type of punches, maybe a different unorthodox style. What do you tell your boxer in the corner right now to try and combat that?
I tell Meade really to keep doing what he's doing, keep marching him down, but be more active with his jab, be more active with his right hand too. Start landing, start scoring, because really Wherry's not offering much. He's not keeping him out of his face.
Meade's doing a good job at backing Wherry down. But what Meade has to do is keep applying the pressure, few jabs, little 1-2s here and there, and just keep putting the pressure on him. Because right now, I don't see anything from Austin to actually be a posing threat for Meade.
Well, you saw in that last fight, Johnson was walking his opponent down, but he was pouring pressure on him. He was hitting him. He was hurting him, and that's when you stop someone.
Now we're getting set for round number 2. Wherry up, ready to go, and now Meade comes out of his corner. It'll be interesting to see how that first round was scored.
Now, if I'm Wherry's corner, I'm telling him you've got to start countering. You've got to start being busy. If you're going to stay on your bike, stay on your back foot, you got to be busy.
He's definitely coming out jabbing.
There we go. There he goes. Looking a lot more busy. Just keeping those hands flowing. Might be nerves, too. It's his first fight.
And I think it is nerves for Wherry because you just seen right there, he landed a couple good shots and then he's immediately backing away. You know what I mean? What you want to do, you want to stay tight in the pocket, bang, 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 and then, keep Meade from throwing any shots.
Well, he's
hit him really good.
He's got to get comfortable in there and confident in there. That's the big thing. It's your first fight. You're a young kid. Sky's the limit.
Wherry had a good overhand right there a moment ago. Meade continues to try and move his way in. A couple of left-handed jabs there from Wherry. Now Meade still trying to find an opening here. There's a big left hand.
Wherry definitely stepped up his game this round.
The referee separates the two. And now Wherry trying to find that little crease again that he found on Meade just a moment ago.
If I'm Meade, I'm looking for the hard hook with the right hand because you see Austin right now. He's feinting the left and then he's coming wild over with the right.
His in range right here, they're so tight. His right hand is way too low. That left hook over the top from Meade would be very bad.
Continues to work his way back in here, trying to find an opening, and neither fighter really going at the midsection of each other right now.
Oh yeah, they're headhunting for sure. I think ripping to the body would be smart.
Absolutely.
I've seen both sides have kind of left themselves open to that shot right here. Another big overhand right doesn't connect that time from Wherry.
Meade also looks in very good shape. I don't think cardio is going to be a problem for him.
Not at all.
Again, under 10 seconds to go now in round number 2.
Now, one thing about Meade that I can say is I'd like to see a little more head movement from him.
Absolutely.
Well, there goes round number 2 in the books, and as of right now, I think it's going to be kind of hard to score this matchup.
The second one, Wherry definitely stepped it up a lot.
Wherry definitely had a lot more success.
We see the replay here.
But you got to think, how are these judges looking at it? Some judges, man, octagon control matters a lot to them. They see a guy pressing forward. They see a guy keeping you on your back foot. They think, oh, he's winning.
Yeah, and I said sometimes appearance just 9/10 of the law, especially in almost in any sport.
Lyoto Machida would lose fights. He would lose decisions because he tended to stay on his back foot and counter.
Now, Chris, you've been with me before when it comes to being a corner man. If you're in Meade's corner right now, what are you telling him to prepare for this last round?
This last round, I would tell him to just keep doing, keep applying the pressure that he did and just keep racking up those free points.
Yeah.
Just tell him to just keep going, giving all he's got. It's the
That's
last
like
round, all or nothing.
It looks good in the judge's eyes when you're coming forward.
Absolutely. He's keeping Austin on the back foot. If Meade can just establish the clean jabs and then come follow up with the straight right as he's putting the pressure, I think he would have the opportunity to actually put Austin away.
Yeah, because Wherry's been able to avoid the big blow from Meade in this match so far.
I think Meade's really trying to not be too wild and be technical.
Oh, he got hit good right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he got tripped up on his feet or if he got rocked.
I think he
I don't
lost
know.
his
They hit right
balance.
behind the ear, though.
He looks pretty clear-eyed,
Oh, Wherry
but
was
he
really
definitely
coming
got
out.
tagged.
And now you can see the aggressiveness from both coming out here in this
See
third
Austin
round.
loading up the right hand. Meade just needs to play it smart, step back, let him throw it, bang, bang.
The official stopping things here momentarily. Looked like
Meade lost his mouthpiece. I was wondering what was going on.
Maybe I didn't see it cut, but yes, they did see the mouthpiece was missing, so he gets a new one.
If Austin has any chance to come back and win in this fight, he's just going to have to be the aggressor by
Yeah, he just needs to
landslide.
go in and
Where he
give it
looks
all he's got.
frustrated.
He may have caught a knee to the midsection that time on that separation, but now Meade trying to really get inside of Wherry. Good wrap up there, though, by Wherry to counteract that.
I think Meade getting in his face, clinching up with him a little bit, it's frustrating him a bit. He doesn't quite know how to deal with that.
And when it comes to boxing, it's a chess match. It is a very patient and mind games is what it is. And then what Meade's doing right here, when he's picking his shots and he's clinching up and stuff, I mean, of course that's going to be frustrating for Austin.
I think Wherry would have a lot more success if he tried to put Meade on his back foot.
Exactly. He needs to apply the pressure here and throw cleaner shots.
He's doing better.
Yes,
when he's pressing forward, he's landing.
And Wherry got a good left hand in there a moment ago. There's a right hand that connects.
I would like to see Austin throw some more straights here. Not
He
worry
didn't like
about the
that
power
jab.
shots.
He did not like that jab.
Oh, nice body shot. You take the body out of the fighter, you take the dog out of the fight. That's
Wherry is definitely starting to look flustered and
gassed.
frustrated.
Under 10 seconds to go now. Can one of them finish with a flurry?
Uh-oh.
He's going to put the pressure right here.
Wherry is there's the end of the round.
So now it'll be in the judges' hands for the third time tonight.
Chris, unofficial scorecard. How you scoring this one?
Honestly, he ran him down a lot, but then the last two rounds, Wherry really stepped it up and actually started landing big shots and taking control a lot.
I
It's
feel
really hard
like
to
it was
predict.
almost few and far between. Like when he had success, he didn't put on the gas and keep pressing him. Like he would step back and wait.
Exactly. I mean, you saw him. He put Meade up against the cage, and then
Would
landed
back
2 or
off.
3 shots, and then he was like, "Oh man, I just did that. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to back up." You know what I mean?
I think it's where
It's
is
really
it? It's
hard
his
to tell.
debut. He's young.
Absolutely.
I
you
was
know,
impressed with both fighters. I really was. There are good things about both guys, and I'm sure we're going to see better and better things
Absolutely.
out of both.
You got to get your feet wet. You got to get the experience under your belt. And then for both fighters, when they come in for their second fight, I see them taking a lot of things from this fight right here.
Now we'll get the judges' decision in our 5th fight out of 18 here this evening. And again, we had a 3-round decision in our first fight where Purdue was able to be declared the winner in that contest. And we just had a 3-round decision in our first kickboxing match of the evening with Bobby Johnson earning the judges' call on that one.
Already, just a few fights in, we've seen it all. We've seen grappling. We've seen striking. We've seen, we've seen guys go to war and get the decision, like in close fights. This has been an interesting card already, and we're just getting started.
We got many more to go. We got a long night ahead of us, so some very fun fights.
They're moving into MMA next with Cody Blevins and David Mullins, and we'll talk about that here just momentarily as the ring announcer waits on the judges' scorecards to come in on this 5th fight. Again, both these two in their first fight of their professional career, looking for their first wins here. It's James Meade out of Cincinnati, Ohio, Austin Wherry out of Belfry, Kentucky. As they continue to talk things over with the ring announcer, still waiting on a couple of the judges to get their scorecards in. But this is going to be really tight. Again, it was hard to kind of judge who maybe was on top. Again, Meade seemed to have control of the ring, had control of the situation most of the time, but Wherry was able to land a few punches that kind of put Meade a little bit back.
I feel like Meade should win a fairly comfortable decision here from what I saw.
He was the aggressor. It seemed like he was more confident in the ring.
Wherry had his moments. He had moments where he showed he's got potential.
It's just you have to capitalize on
it.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think he was too in his own head for this fight, and
that's okay. Young
it's a part
fighter,
of it. It's just a part of it.
You'll learn from it.
Wow!
Wow!
I did not expect that.
Meade does not look happy.
Wow! May have gave it to the rat in the corner over there. I don't know. Wow!
Yeah, that's one thing I say. You do not know what these judges are going to be seeing. You don't know. That's why when you're a fighter, you don't want to leave it in the hands of the judges. That's the worst thing.